Hi, this is Chris. Today I'm working on Margarete Miller's Collage Weekly Planner 2023 for week 5. And the prompts are a doll or toy. I found this robot. I found him in the Extraordinary Things to Cut Out in Collage by Maria Ribens. You've probably seen this around. It's very popular. Sand or stone. I have these rocks. This is the Niagara Falls in a winter time, covered with ice. And it also works with the next prompt, which is something cold. But I wanted something a little bigger, so I got this picture here from National Geographic. These are both from National Geographic several years ago now. So I got this glacier in Norway, and I have this Niagara Falls, and then a clock or time. I have a couple of different clocks. A photo. I have this photo of my mother when she was 2 years old. She's this one here with the big frilly bonnet. But I don't want to use the original photo, so I made a copy of it. And she's looking up sort of in this direction, so I thought, you know, she could be looking up at that big robot there. The bonus is something that came in the mail, but I haven't really found anything for that. So this one is a sort of, and this one is a copy. And we probably won't do something that's in the mail. I'll fast forward this one, and then I will show you the weeks that I already did 1 through 4. These are vintage dress weights, and I use them sometimes to hold things down before I want to glue them. I have here some journaling words from Karen Tamir Art on Etsy. And that's what they're called. It's a digital called journaling words. And they actually print out full page, so they're quite a bit larger than this. I printed these out at 60%. So I'm going to pick something to put up here. So Karen has several files, and some of them are affirmations for artists, like create without fear, art heals the soul, follow the path less traveled, and then some of them are funny and snarky, like I drink coffee for your protection, please cancel my subscription to your issues. So it's fun to have those. I use those a lot in my collages. I'm using a Stabilo All black pencil, water soluble. It's a little waxy, so it writes good on magazine pages, and I'm just going to go and darken up more of these areas. Stabilo All comes in other colors. If you go on Amazon, I'll put a link below, you need to check out all the different vendors because the prices vary. And then you want to see where they're shipping from. If it's really far away, it might take a while to get to you. So, but I think they're great. They're worth it. I use them a lot. I'll show you what colors I have. I have red. I have green, but it's not in here. It's in the other room. I have blue, and I have a lot of, I bought a whole box of these sepia because I really like the brown sepia type tones. And then there's a white. The white doesn't work as well as the darks. So I'm just going to continue working on this a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you it all done. And then I will show you the other weeks in January, 1 through 4, that I've already done. Okay, I've finished week 5. And a doll or toy, I have this vintage robot. Sand or stone, well, there's rocks underneath this ice, so that's the best I could do there. Something cold. This is Niagara Falls frozen over in 1920. And then behind it is glaciers from Norway. A clock or time. I have this big clock in the back. A photo. I have this photo of my mother and her little playmate, but I didn't want to use that. That's the original photo, or a reprint that my mother made, I'm not sure. So they're looking up like, what's that behind us? Sitting on the sofa. Oh, and the bonus is something that came from the mail, so I did find this piece of airmail envelope. So I'll check that off. So here's week 1. Any kind of transportation. Here's a John Deere tractor, yard tractor from a magazine. A library card. Here's a library card. It's torn in half. Has time due on there. A zoo animal. I don't know what kind of monkey that is, but he was in Extraordinary Things to cut out and collage. Handwriting. Well, instead of my handwriting, I had this handwriting that was my mother's, and it was a poem. She used to teach English as a second language, and she would use poems to help people understand pronunciation of words. Stained paper. The library card is stained with tea. And the bonus is a sticker, so I just stuck these little produce stickers up here. But I'll read the poem to you. Because it got covered up, I put a copy in here. It's called Mr. Nobody. I know a funny little man, as quiet as a mouse, who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. That squeaking door will always squeak, for pither, don't you see? We leave the oiling to be done by Mr. Nobody. We never leave the door ajar, the ink weren't spilled by me. We never raid the cookie jar, must be Mr. Nobody. I looked this up on the internet, and there's several different versions actually of it. And Prithi means, I wrote that down some, Prithi means please, so for please, don't you see. So that was week 1. That was fun. And then week 2, your least favorite color, pink. So I've got pink in here, I've got pink in here, there's pink in here, there's pink all over the place. A sewing notion. I have this little ruler that came with some sewing notions I got somewhere, and I've never used it. It's been kicking around for years. So I stuck that in there. something out of the recycle bin. This is a labeling box from yogurt. Do what works for you, add some light. It's a simple idea, really. A foreign language. Well, I ended up covering it up, but the page in the back is Pride and Prejudice in Italian. A tea bag cover. Down here I have some stashed tea. And the bonus is fiber yarn or string, so I just put some perle cotton up here. And then the girls give it some focal point. And these girls are from Extraordinary Things to Cut Out in Collage. Is that the Supremes? I don't know. I'm not that familiar with it. This picture is from Britain Magazine, some palace or something. Okay, week 2. So now week 3, this is a fun one. Something you do at a party. Well, dress up, and she's dressed up. I think this is Carmen Miranda. And this was from Extraordinary Things to Cut Out in Collage. Fruit, I have the grapes. I put the grapes in her hand. Anything winter. This page is from the Edith Holden calendar, and this is mistletoe. Lines, there's lines on the calendar. It was the Edith Holden garden calendar. I actually have 2 copies. One I used one year as my garden calendar, and the other one I cut up. A shoe, I couldn't find a shoe that would work in this one, and the bonus is a ticket stub. So I have this old ticket stub down here. That was week 3. Week 4 is another fun one. I like doing surreal collages, as you may have noticed. Something folded. This piece of paper is folded right here. Housework, that whatever that means to you. Well, I hate vacuuming, so I did vacuuming. An ocean creature, this poor little ocean creature who's being sucked up. A random piece of washi tape. Well, I just sort of did a little bit of a border with this Tim Holtz washi tape. An art scrap. These are digitals of jelly prints that I made with my neighbor last summer. And I didn't use wrapping paper. Spoiler alert, I don't care. And down here the fish says, I do. And then today's collage. Number 5. I'm not weird, I'm a limited edition. But wait, there's more. I'm also working on Margarete Miller's Days of Observance. And I showed this the first of the year. This is the one that I did. Represents something you're looking forward to doing in the new year. National Bird Day on January 5th. So I did the peacock, and I did this fortune teller with his bulb, and then this big lily. These are all from Extraordinary Things to Cut Out in Collage. And I put, welcome to the Peacock Room where magic happens. The Peacock Room Creative Studio. That's what I call my studio, office, craft room. The Peacock Room, because we have peacocks in the area. January 19th was Popcorn Day. Which do you prefer, sweet or salty snacks? Create a colorful collage with food packaging or advertising. Well, I have some little tiny food packaging here in this old TV. This popcorn was from advertising, and then this was from Home and Garden Magazine, and these were from Home and Garden Magazine too. And then the next one was Chinese New Year. Are you familiar with the Chinese zodiac symbols of the Lunar New Year? Do you know what this year's symbol? Find any of the symbols and collage with it. Well, this is the year of the hare. And I had this book I bought at the thrift store that was all about the Chinese zodiac. It just happened to come in real handy there. The year of the hare, and that's the year I was born. It says, if you were born the year of the hare, then you are talented and friendly and you like to be peaceful. And that's pretty true. Then I found these in a magazine, And it says rabbit versus hare, and it just tells a little bit about the differences between a rabbit and a hare. And then at the time, Google had a Google Doodle of a hare. I might have to print it out smaller because it doesn't quite fit. I don't want to cover anything else up, but I might put that in there. And so for February, we have World Radio Day and Valentine's Day. And I found this Valentine on an advertisement in Reminisce magazine. And I also found from last year, February last year, this little article from Reminisce magazine with these Valentines. So I'll probably be working on those this month. And this book has about 30 pages for collaging. And Margarete Miller says in the front, you just do them whenever you feel like doing them. You don't have to do them on the day of the observance, like February 13th, World Radio Day. You don't have to do that on the 13th. You can just go through the book and pick out something that gets your attention and sparks your imagination and do it whenever you want to do it. So that's a fun book. Again, that's by Margarete Miller. Days of Observance, Vintage Journal and Glue Book. Thanks for watching and have fun collaging. Bye-bye.